I cannot imagine a more tragic scenario than forgetting that your child was in a car. It was in Arizona. It was 108 degrees outside. It's been about 108 every day here for like a couple of weeks now, maybe a month.
You did not mention that was there. Okay.
And the guy says that he left his daughter in the car and he left the AC on, but the model of vehicle that he happened to drive has an automatic shutoff feature that I'd imagine engages when it notices nobody's in the car. I don't know how it works, but it shuts off after 30 minutes. He left her out there for a few hours when he tried to, when the cops got there, he downplayed it. Oh, she was only in there for 30, 45 minutes. I thought I left the AC on. His reaction to it is outright disgusting. My personal opinion, we're going to go through all of the
facts?
dash cam footage
Okay.
of him. He looks, I ain't going to come on his looks. I won't comment on his looks, but he's like just in summer clothes, shorts and a t-shirt. He was playing PlayStation, whatever it was, Call of Duty or whatnot, for a few hours. Forgot about his 2-year-old daughter. It's hard to forget about your kids. It's really hard to forget about your kids. I can't imagine any scenario where I would voluntarily leave my daughters in the car, regardless of whether or not it was running, so that I could go put away groceries. But that's what this guy did. And in the course of doing that, his daughter baked to death in a car on a hot summer day in Arizona. That was the consequence. I want you to imagine that you had a 2-year-old daughter and just you went through the full-on 9-month pregnancy, took her to full term. There was a baby shower there where she has a room, there's toys, there's decorations, there's doctor's visits. They're giving you benchmarks of where your daughter should be at 3 months, at 6 months, at 12 months, 18 months, 24 months, the whole thing. Maybe you got her enrolled in some kind of a pre-K class, some kind of kindergarten, whatever. Maybe you got her in like baby gymnastics or whatever. And you're going through all the effort and time and energy to put this girl and raise her to become a successful human being in life. And then you come home to find out that your husband, who was charged with protecting her and being her father, left her in a car, and you come home to find your daughter deceased.
I'll be on it. There you go. Jenkins, you're on as well?
Yep.
Just making sure. Sorry. You good?
Hey, everyone. All right. Chris. Can you step out real quick? All right. So remember how I talked?
Can we do this maybe out here so the kiddos don't have to hear?
Here, one is sleeping and one's next.
Oh,
I believe the children
So
are
remember how we talked
8
about
and 9 years old.
the investigation and things that would transpire? Okay. And I told you I'm always going to tell you guys the truth. There's no secrets here, right? So based off of our investigation at this point, right, we have determined that there's probable cause to go ahead and charge you for what happened. Okay.
please come out here, Christopher. It's okay.
So listen. Listen. This doesn't change. This doesn't change what's going on. Okay. What happens at this point? It's simple.
So that lady right there in the light blue shirts or whatever, I believe that that's his wife.
Yeah, it seems like.
Yeah, and she's over here consoling him like that. And anyway, I'll continue it.
Okay. What happened?
But I will say this: that reaction from the dad appears to be a genuine reaction, even if he was, negligent in causing it. I mean, how else are you supposed to react? That seems like the genuine reaction of the dad that just effed up and killed his kid on accident.
At this point is you are going to be taken into custody, all right, and you will be booked. And then after you are booked, you have an initial appearance with the judge within the first 24 hours, okay? After the first 24 hours, right, the judge will determine bond and things like that as far as what happens next. At that point, the case goes to the courts. It'll be between you, it'll be between your attorneys, and it'll be between the county prosecutor. So, again, I can't change the consequences of what happened, all right? But what I'm going to ask of you. Okay.
Could I just have you stand up for me, please?
Come on, Chris. Let's go out here.
Can you grab him some shoes, please?
No, come on. Come on, just slipper. It's okay. It's okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you say bye to her?
So listen to what I'm saying.
I'm not resisting.
I know.
Please.
I need you to listen. I need you to listen.
Just relax.
So you will get your keys,
Just relax.
and these are the options, okay? The reason I'm here meeting with you in person, is because I don't want this to be anything more than what it needs to be at its base.
Let me just tighten them for,
I don't
let
want.
me double lock them. Don't pull on your hands right now.
Kids.
Ileana, this case just lands on your desk. This guy wants you to represent him because he's been charged with murder. Charges have just been upgraded to first degree. How do you represent him? What do you think?
Goodness.
I know that you would not take. I know you would not take this case. I know that. But let's just say you have to.
I mean, show that there was no intention. I mean, I don't think he has a way of getting completely out of it, but
Well, you
maybe
can't just write off. You can't just hand wave that there was no intention. Because we've seen cases like this before where, I just forgot. And, I left my kid, I took my kid to work and left him in the back seat while I went to work and effed off at, my mistress's house all day and then come back to find a dead kid in the back seat. We've seen those cases before. And there were instances where it was intentional because they didn't want to be parents. They didn't want to, it was an easy way out, I guess. And so you can't just dismiss that this may have been intentional. I don't think it was intentional. I would hope it wouldn't be intentional, but the story that he forgot about his daughter in the car doesn't jive because you're not just going to 2-year-olds are loud. And there's a million different things that you have to do with a child. It's a constant every 2 minutes they need something. And so you're not just going to be, oh, wow, it's been so peaceful for 3 hours. I wonder where my daughter is. She must be asleep. There's no chance that you're just going to forget about your child that way.
No, you said that the other two kids were 8 and 9?
8 and 9.
I mean,
now, I don't know if they were in the house at the time because I know where you're going with that. I don't know if they were in the house at the time, but even so.
I mean, I've seen families that pretty much hand their little one to the older kids, even if they're 8 and 9, and kind of forget about them. And if he was in the PlayStation, I mean, he could have thought that maybe the 3-year-old was with the older children, and that's why. I mean, I don't know the dynamics of their house.
He didn't say that to the cops. Now, before you go any further with that, I think we should